Hey, Robert here with Bedbugs Florida Heater Rentals. I wanted to take a second and show you how to use and set up an 800 square foot heating system. We are here at a townhouse, and there's an upstairs and a downstairs. The upstairs is about 650 square feet or so. Downstairs here, where we're going to be treating today, is about 700 square feet. It's one big rectangle with a kitchen area in the front. So with your 800 square foot heating system, when you rent it, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a bedbug heater fan and 4 air fans, 5 total fans, one of which produces heat. In addition to the 5 fans, you're going to receive 4 110 volt heating cables and a 220 volt cable that will plug into the stove 220 outlet, and it will also plug into, using the extension cord if you need it for extra distance, a good 60 feet or so of distance from the point where you have the heater to the point where you plug it into the stoves. When you pick up the heaters, this is what you would be getting, a package that would allow you to heat up a maximum of 800 square feet of empty space, or about 750 square feet or so of furnished space. If you have a lot of stuff inside your house, you're going to need more heating power or more time, and in most cases it's more heating power. Setting up your heat system is an easy 5 steps. Step 1. Place the heater and fans in a way that makes circular airflow. Step 2. Plug in your fans. Step 3. Plug in your stove heating cable. Step 4, plug in the 4 110 volt heating cables. Step 5, turn on the heat system and start killing your bugs. Okay, so I've got the fans placed where I want them. The objective that you're looking for is to achieve a circular airflow pattern, like you're making a convection oven or a tornado or a hurricane. You want constant revolving air, so that the same heat that leaves our heater will work its way around the fans back into the heater again in this constant circulation of air. That gives you convection, and that gives you temperature rise. So the way I've got this set up, you can see the 5 fans. I've got my heater right in front of me here, and it's going to throw heat this way. This fan's going to pick it up and throw it over here. And then over here, this fan is going to turn it around and throw it back this way. This fan will then throw it over here. And from here, we're at a junction. I do have this galley kitchen that I want to think about. I've got a fan here that's going to revolve it back into the heater. And then I've got this fan which will pick up some of that air and blow it into the kitchen. And because it's a galley kitchen, it's going to swoop around there. And then again, the heater will pick it up and constantly give you airflow. Okay, now I don't know if you can see this good or not, but the idea is that you want to actually point the fans into the back of the next fan as best you can. So you want the air to leave the heater and go right into the back of that fan. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can bounce air off the walls. You can see also that my fans are about 10 feet or so apart at most, and that's about as far as you want them distance-wise to be apart from each other. You also notice that the heater, it is in line with the other fans. It is not something where you want to place it right in the center. You want it to be, it's got a fan in there, so you want that fan to be active as part of your vortex along with the other fans. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is simply plug in the fan cables. Okay, so these black cables that are wrapped around each of the fans are there to provide you with airflow. They draw very low power, so you simply find the closest outlet you can and plug them in. Okay? Very simple. So you can plug in 7 of these fans into the same room. So whenever I possibly can, I try to plug in all my black fan cables into the same room outlets. That way it frees up all the other circuits around the house to plug in these other connections to. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is plug in our heating cables. So far we've plugged in our air mover fans, now we're going to plug in our heating cables. So for the stove connection, I've plugged in the big thick black cable into the stove outlet, and now it's simply a matter of lining up our pins and locking it shut. It's a twist lock connection, so there's a little quarter turn that you make afterwards. So you jiggle it in, lock it in, and we've confirmed that the orange lights are on, meaning the heating elements have power. If these lights ever go off, you know that you don't have power going to your heating elements and you have probably a trip circuit breaker. Okay, so now on the other side of the heater, we're going to plug in more 110 volt heating cables. Each one of these cables provides you with about 100 square feet of heating power each. So you can see, you simply plug them in, and same thing, we confirm that we have power to each of the heating elements individually. This cable here is going to the washing machine outlet, this one's going to the kitchen, this one's going upstairs to a bedroom, and this one's going up to the bathroom GFCI outlet. So all four of these cables draw 12 amps apiece, and so you have to spread them out to not just different outlets, but different outlets that are on different circuit breakers. That's very important. Okay, so now it's time to turn it on and get it started. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the heater. I'm going to turn the fan button. That turns on just the air blower, powered by this black cable. And then I'm going to push these two yellow buttons, which are the heating element cable buttons. Now, if we look, I have not turned that fan on, and yet it's blowing because I've got really good airflow going straight from this fan into the back of that fan. So now I'm going to come over here and turn it on. Come over here. Some of them have a push button, some of them have a dial. So to turn the dial, that's it. Turned it on, nice and easy. Now I can feel that there's a lot of airflow moving around. See that? You can feel it. You look around the room after you turn them on. Is there anything that is moving around? Okay, we got blinds that are moving around. The swing is moving. So that fan is spinning. So we know that we've got really good airflow in this space. Everything's running. Everything's heating up. And now we're going to let it increase in temperature until it hits 120 degrees or higher, and then add 6 to 12 more hours, with the understanding that longer can only help you. And you want to give the heat enough time to not just heat up the airspace, but to actually bake through the drywall and into the furniture and get into the little nooks and crannies where the bed bugs like to be found. This area, about 600-700 square feet, will probably take 8 to 10 hours to get to full temperature, and then we're going to add another 8 to 10. So I'd say this is a 15 to 20 hour heating process in this space. All right, don't rush it. Okay, so it is the next morning, and we've returned to the property. The system has been running for about 18 hours. And let's take a few minutes and just check our temperatures and see how things are going here. We've achieved 125 to 140 degrees around the property. The heater tells us it's 127. We've got temperatures above 120 degrees all over the place. And so it's time to shut this down. The treatment is over. Okay, so let's go ahead and shut this down. To shut down the heater, it's as simple as pushing the green button, and that shuts off the fan. All right, all the fans have been shut down. It ran for a good 18 hours from start to finish, and we were able to get it to temperature in about 6 hours, which was a close to 10 degrees per hour temperature rise. And that's very good. 10 degrees or better per hour is great. And then it governed itself, in this case, around 130 degrees for the rest of that time. This treatment has saturated, everything. The walls, are hot to the touch. They are hot. One test that I like to do is to do the cold water test. Now, the hot water heater circuit breaker, we shut it off to conserve power. Let's see if we can get a feel for how water comes out of the kitchen faucet. I'm going to turn the cold water on. Yeah, out, and it is hot. So, and that's with the cold water valve. So we know that water going into the pipes and eventually going into the wall somewhere, that water, with no water heater running, is still hot to the touch. And that's a great sign that you've got good heat penetration. Some of you might have been questioning, how did we seal off the upstairs in order to keep the heat from going up there? And it's a real simple blanket wall setup that we have. We use a moving blanket and a couple shower curtain rods that you can get at the local big box store, and it provides a perfect separator for heating up two spaces like this, upstairs and downstairs, over 2 days. As far as the couch, you may have noticed that it's not pulled away from the wall. This style couch has a big gap underneath it, so that's no problem. If you have a regular kind of sectional or kick type of couch with the kickouts, you definitely want to pull it off the wall 12 to 18 inches so that you can have the air from the fans going behind the couch, between the wall and the back of the couch. So as you can see from this demonstration, almost anyone is able to tackle a project like this. It is do-it-yourself friendly, especially if you follow our step-by-step instructions. You can always call or text us if you need any help while heating is taking place. If you feel like you want a helping hand or a little in-person guidance, we do offer a delivery service. With this delivery option, we'll bring the equipment out to the home, ensure that you have it operating before we leave, then come pick it up once it's all finished. The delivery is a little more expensive, but it's also much more convenient. If you pick up a heating system from us, it would easily fit into any vehicle you have. Either way, give us a call to discuss your options, and remember, heating is the only technique that bedbugs cannot develop an immunity to. So take your time, be thorough, and good luck.